Hello, and thanks for joining me for our gentle yoga practice today. We won't be using any props for our yoga practice today, but you're always welcome to have around you. We will be a little bit on our knees, so if you need any extra cushion for underneath the knees, then go ahead and grab that. We will also be doing just some gentle sun salutations. And I'll walk you through modifications, but just be prepared for that as well. All right, so let's start by taking a comfortable seat, please. Sit up tall. You can let the hands rest on the lap, on the thighs, palms down, palms up, whatever you like. Let's take a little moment to settle in. And I'll start with a little visualization to begin our practice. So just imagine as we're sitting here that there is a dog sitting in front of me, and in my hand I have a bone, and I'm waving this bone back and forth in front of the dog's face. And what do you think the dog is doing? Well, he's watching that bone wherever it goes, almost like he doesn't have a choice, right? Now, what if, say, for instance, I'm going to take this bone, I'm going to throw it off into the corner. What do you think the dog's going to do? Well, he's going to run right after that bone, again, almost like he didn't have a choice, right? Let's instead imagine that I have a lion sitting in front of me, and I've got the same bone, and I'm waving it back and forth in front of the bone, or in front of the lion. And what do you think the lion is doing? Now, he's also watching that bone, but he's seeing beyond it. He's also seeing me, right? Now, I'm going to take that bone and throw it in the corner. And what do you think the lion's going to do? Well, he's probably going to glance at the bone that I threw, but then he's going to turn and he's going to set his sights right back on me because I'm just a big pile of bones. So we'll use this as a metaphor to describe two states of mind today: lion mind and dog mind. And let's start with dog mind, right? So dog mind sees all these bones, and we can think of the bones like the distractions in our lives, the things that keep us unfocused on the things that we need to be focused on. And so those bones are all of the distractions in our life. Now, the lion, he sees the bones, but he also sees the bigger picture. So we'll use this metaphor in our opening meditation as a way of learning how to work with the distractions in our life, okay? So sitting up tall, if it's comfortable for you, you can allow the eyes to softly close and just start bringing some attention to your body. Just sitting here, and check out where your body is touching something else. Right? Like maybe the feet on the floor, the legs, the sit bones on whatever you're sitting on. Just notice the body, these points of contact. Notice if the hands are on your lap or by your sides. What else are you noticing about the body? Maybe hunger, maybe excitement, stress. Just keep scanning the body, keep noticing. Notice the support of your back, your feet on the floor, skin temperature, just anything else. A lot of times we skate through life without ever checking in with the physical body. So right now we're taking this opportunity to slow down a bit, to just be curious and check out what this body of yours is feeling like. Even though you might be sitting pretty still, pretty chill, even within the stillness, there's movement. Do you sense it? Do you feel it? What is this movement that's happening? It's the breath, right? This thing that's moving every second. It's expanding, It's contracting. It's moving. Maybe it's even making sounds. It's just doing the breath thing. You don't have to think about it or control it. It just does what it does. It's the miracle of the breath. So I invite you to start bringing more attention to the breath. Just start following the breath. We use the breath today like an anchor to keep us anchored in the moment rather than following all of the bones, the distractions, right? Now, even while you continue to follow the breath, the mind is going to continue to think all kinds of things, right? Likes, dislikes, fears, memories, fantasies. No matter what it is, it's trying to pull us away from the moment, just like that dog following the bone. So whenever you catch yourself drifting off, getting snagged by a thought or a memory or a list, whatever it is that you're thinking, just go back to the breath. Every time you go back to the breath, you are embodying lion mind, not dog mind. We're not going after the bone. Of course, it's perfectly normal to drift off, and it's probably going to happen lots of times. So no need to think that you've done something wrong when it does happen. All you need to do is just notice when it happens and then gently, kindly come back to the breath. Back to the moment, slowing down bit by bit. Remember, we're not following that bone. All those distractions, they keep happening, right? Thoughts, feelings, sound, emotion. Just keep noticing all of this stuff happening around us. But then notice the breath and keep coming back to it. Keep building lion mind. Yeah, now bring your awareness back to the touch of your body on your seat. A deep breath in. And exhale, soft sigh out. And let your eyes blink open. All right, let's get right to our practice today. So if you have anything on your mat that you sat with, you can move it off to the side and we'll come right up to stand. Right up to standing. And as you come up to stand, we'll come up to the top of your mat, please. And take Tadasana or mountain pose. So feet are parallel, about hips distance apart. Just like we're standing on a railroad track, right? Standing up tall, arms by your sides. So remember, Tadasana is mountain pose, and mountain is like a mountain, earth, rock, right? It's heavy, it's grounded, it's stable. So as we're standing in Tadasana, we're not just standing here, we're pressing the feet in. We're being really conscious about our posture, pressing the feet down, engaging the muscles in the legs. Feel the kneecaps lift up towards your hips. Feel the low belly draw back towards your spine to the heart. From the center of the heart, grow taller. So it's active, grounded. And as we move through our practice today, keep coming back to the breath. Keep building lion mind. Good. On inhalation, stretch the two arms up overhead. So the arms go up, spine goes up, but watch the shoulders. Often we take the arms up and the shoulders go with us. Keep the neck nice and free. So shoulders are down, still pressing the feet in. Feel free to turn your gaze to look up past fingertips. Good. Stay here for 2 more breaths. Good. One more inhalation here. As you exhale, Uttanasana, forward bend. Hips go back first, then a soft bend in the knees as the heart comes forward and down all the way. Let the head weight release. Good. Take your hands on your shins or even walk them up just above the knees for half lift or Ardha Uttanasana. Feel like the spine is lengthening. Tailbone and crown of the head moving opposite directions, and we'll hold this. So what we're moving into right now is probably the longest sun salutation you've ever done. We're going to hold some of the postures within the sun salutation for about 10 breaths. And keep pressing the feet down. Keep energizing the legs. Keep lifting the low belly, tailbone moving back, crown of the head lengthening in the opposite direction. And don't forget about the shoulders. They're away from the ears. Let's stay for 2 more breaths. Inhale again. And as you exhale, forward bend all the way down. Good. Walk your feet back. And we'll take, so you can come to the knees, position the shoulders so they're right over your wrists, right over your hands. Walk the knees back. We're coming into plank pose. So you can be on the knees or feeling more energetic today, curl those toes under and pop the knees up. 10 breaths here. Three more breaths. Good. Let's exhale to downward facing dog. So hips up and back. Keep some bend in the knees. Tailbone lifts high. Now an alternative down dog is not in your practice today. Lower the knees down and walk the hands forward for puppy dog pose. All right. Yogi's choice. Wherever you're at, it's 10 full breaths. So let's say we've got about 7 more to go. One more breath. Lower your knees. If they're lifted in down dog, uncurl your toes. Hips to the heels, child's pose, 10 breaths.
Keep building lion mind.
And let's inhale back to downward facing dog or puppy dog pose. So, right, you could come up onto the knees and walk the hands forward, or up to hands and knees, curl the toes under, hips up and back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, 10 breaths. And let's walk your hands back to your feet. So we'll be in Uttanasana now, but this time at the back of the mat, forward bend. Good, take hands on your shins. Inhale, find your half lift. Ardha Uttanasana, 10 breaths. Spine lengthening, strengthening the back side of the body. You can really tune into what's going on in the body with a long hold, right? Especially an active hold. 2 more breaths, please. And then with your next inhale, bring yourself all the way up. Reach to the sky. And then lower the arms down, returning to Tadasana. Turn the palms forward. Press into the feet. Lift the energy. Draw it up through the legs into the low belly. Lifting up to the heart and up through the crown. Yeah. Blink your eyes open. Let's inhale. Stretch the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, all the way down, forward bend. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward bend. Let's walk the hands forward. Come down onto your knees. Keep walking forward. Find your plank pose or kneeling plank. Good. From kneeling plank, take an inhale. As you exhale, bend the elbows, lower yourself slowly all the way to the floor, uncurl the toes, just a little baby cobra, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest. And then as you exhale, press back. So you can either go to puppy dog pose, staying on the knees, or hips up and back, downward facing dog. Let's walk your hands back to your feet, to Uttanasana again at the back of the mat. Inhale up, half lift, lengthen forward. Exhale, forward bend. The next inhale brings us up. Find that halfway point first, then push into the floor and reach all the way up and lower the arms down. Good. Let's do 2 more just like that. Inhale, stretch tall. Exhale, forward bend, Uttanasana. Inhale halfway, look forward. Exhale, forward bend, walking the hands forward, then you lower the knees, keep walking forward. Kneeling plank, of course, you can be in full plank, bend the elbows, just slowly lower yourself to the floor, belly all the way down. Uncurl those toes, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Press up to the knees, either puppy dog pose or downward facing. Walking the hands back to the feet. Find your half lift, lengthen. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, find your halfway point, then press into the feet, root to rise all the way up. And lower the arms down. One more time, please. Inhale, stretch tall. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, lengthen halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward bend. Walk the hands forward, bringing the knees down. Kneeling plank or plank. Slowly lower. Find cobra. Back to downward facing or puppy dog pose. Walking hands back to the feet. Uttanasana. Find your half lift. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward bend. This inhale brings us all the way up. Look forward, press into those feet all the way up. And returning to Tadasana. Good. Stay rooted, grounded through the feet, shoulders rolling back, chest open. Good. All right, we'll do a couple of standing postures now. Let's start with come lengthwise on your mat and take your feet out nice and wide. Okay, so feet out nice and wide, feet parallel to begin with. Good. Now, in standing postures, all of our foundation is right here in the feet. So be really clear and grounded with our feet. We'll do some long holds here again. So working on holding our postures for about 10 breaths each. Okay. Let's start with warrior two to your right. So pick up your left heel, turn it to the left. So turn it back and then turn your right toes to the right. Now, in warrior two, we want the hips to stay the hips to stay neutral, right? Rather than allowing that front hip to dip down. So get as much neutrality as you can here, and then anchoring into the feet, allow the right knee to bend until the knee is about over the ankle. Now, one thing that happens is when we bend this knee and we shift our weight that direction, it's like all of our attention goes there. Maintain some awareness of this back leg. So try not to let the knee bend and sag in. You're going to press into the pinky toe side, outer edge of that foot. Almost like we're still in Tadasana in mountain pose on this back leg, but we just repositioned it. All right, let's float the arms up parallel to the floor. Stretching right fingertips to the right, left fingertips back behind you, but shoulders are right over your hips. Stay here and breathe. Stay tuned into your breath. We've got 5 breaths more. Keep building lion mind. Let's take a reverse warrior. So the legs don't change. Left hand will come to the back or the outside of the leg or to the hip. Turn your right palm up toward the sky. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, reach up and back. So we're taking a lateral bend here. It's a side stretch, not a back bend. Good, stay here and breathe. Remember, the legs aren't changing. So we're still anchoring into the pinky toe side of the left foot, still keeping that nice deep lunge going in the right knee. Two more breaths, please. Inhale. Move back to warrior two, then lower the arms and then straighten the legs. We'll keep the feet right where they're at, but we'll take Trikonasana or triangle pose. Let's start with left hand on the hip. So now we'll allow that right hip to dip down so our hips are no longer neutral to the floor. Now, as we set up, keep your right side waist really long. Take right arm and extend it out parallel to the floor. Now, reach the right arm forward. Keep reaching it forward. Keep it parallel to the floor as you reach as far as you can. So the right hip drops down more, right? When you've gone about as far as you can, then you bring the right arm straight down. So you're maybe grazing the shin or the thigh. You could certainly use a yoga block here. Keep the chest opening to your left, and you could take the left hand either behind the low back, keep it at the hip, or stretch it up tall. Two more breaths. Good. Look down to your right foot, soft bend in the right knee, and bring yourself all the way up. Good. Turn your feet to parallel. And let's just step the feet together. Give those legs a little bit of a break before we make our way over to the other side. All right, when you're ready, feet come back out to parallel. And now right heel turn back, and left toes will turn to the left. So we start with the warrior two. So neutral hips, anchor into the outer edge of your right foot, bend the left knee until the knee is about over the ankle. All right, also be mindful of where that knee is tracking. You don't want the knee to collapse in toward big toe side of the foot, nor do you want it to go out to the pinky. See if you can track it right about middle toe. Good, legs are really strong here. Extend the arms out parallel to the floor. Now left is extending to the left and the right one's back behind you. Keep watching out for those distractions, those bones, and continue building lion mind by coming back to the breath every single time. Building a stronger mind-body connection. One more breath. And let's take our reverse. Right hand to the back of the leg or to the hip. Turn the left palm up and back. Breathe. Legs don't change, so keep those nice strong legs going. Nice and open in the left side body. Two more breaths. Return to warrior two. Straighten out those legs, lower the arms down. So now we allow the left hip to drop down, right one goes back. Keep the left side of the waist long. Left arm reaches out parallel to the floor, and then keep reaching it. Reach, reach, reach. Keep that side of the waist long, and then drop the left arm down. Chest is opening to the right. Maybe the right arm reaches up to the sky. Remember alternate position. You might have the top arm on the hip or even resting at the low back. Two more breaths. Look down at the left foot, soft bend in the knee. Bring yourself all the way up. Lower the arms, turn those feet to parallel. And then step or hop the feet together. We'll stay standing for 2 more postures here. So let's return to Tadasana. So soles of the feet down, heels underneath the knees, pressing the feet down, really strong and grounded. From that grounded sensation, feel the lift and the length going up the spine. So mountain pose, Tadasana, on 2 legs. All right, let's come to mountain pose on just the right foot. So pick up your left heel. Now, oftentimes, once we start to shift the weight, everything goes over. All right. So we're continue to stay in mountain pose on the right leg as the left knee bends. And for today, let's keep the knee facing forward. Sometimes we do tree pose and open it out. Let's keep it forward. Let's lift the thigh up, flex the foot. Pause here and breathe. Perhaps you stretch the arms up. Notice after a little while, gravity wants to take over, right? It tries to bring us down. Keep pushing down to find lift and length. And we'll slowly step that out. Shake that standing leg out. All right, return to mountain pose, Tadasana, pressing the feet down. So Tadasana on 2 legs. Then we keep Tadasana, mountain pose, on the left leg as we just pick up the left heel off of the floor. So we start to offset our balance. And then if you're lifting the leg, as you lift the right foot up off of the floor, we'll flex the foot. That kind of helps to not make this leg all dead weight, right? And I always like to bring the thigh up if I can to about hip height to start with. Settle in. Keep pressing the foot down. Slowly step that out, shake the legs. All right, 1 more standing posture, and then we'll get off these poor little legs, huh? All right, return to mountain pose again. So now this time we'll sit back into a little bit of a chair. So it doesn't have to be a really super deep chair. And from the side, notice that I'm going back rather than forward, right? When we shift the knees forward like this, the knees actually weren't designed to support our weight this way, right? So we got these bigger muscles back here, so let's use them. So the butt goes back, keep the low belly lifting so we're not straining the low back, and keep the chest high, right? So I don't want you to take your chest all the way down, but just a little half chair. Right, so come to balancing on the right foot. So pick up your left heel and then cross the left leg over the right? Just like we're sitting in a chair, the deeper your little squat, the easier it'll be to cross the legs. And I like to keep the crossed over toes, those left ones, on the ground just as like a little kickstand. All right, so we have the left leg on top. We'll take the arms out. We'll take the left arm under the right, either hands at the shoulders, backs, or palms today, or palms together, yogi's choice. No matter what you choose, the elbows lift off the chest and the shoulders draw down. keeping in mind that we're holding all of this for 10 breaths, I'll kind of give us a little bit of credit for those couple of breaths during our setup. So I know your legs are getting tired too. Can we do 3 more breaths here? Can you sit a little lower? 1 more. And then inhale all the way up. Oh, whew, shake it all out. And return to our mountain and then sink down into your little chair. So we'll stay grounded through left leg now, cross the right one over. Maybe you're using that kickstand. You want a bigger challenge, feel free to tuck those toes around the lower leg. So sinking down, right leg's on top, so right arm goes under as we cross, right under left. Find the wrap of the arms that works the best for you. The elbows lift and the shoulders draw down. Five more breaths. You sink a little lower for this last breath. And then inhale all the way up. Whew. Shake things out. Yeah. All right. Make your way to your choice of either downward facing dog or puppy dog pose. Remember, puppy dog pose is on your knees with the arms outstretched, or downward facing dog. Yogi's choice. So puppy dog here, or downward facing dog, hips up and back. Whatever you've chosen, the tailbone is lifting, the spine is long, grounded, yet free, expanding. And then a little reflection while we hold for a couple breaths more. Right, what it's like to hold a challenging posture for time. And how many distractions, how many bones did you have to leave by the side? Again, no judgment of this. We're just continuing to build lion mind. And let's lower the knees down to the ground if you're lifted up in downward facing dog. Bring yourself all the way down onto your belly. So we'll come all the way down on the belly. Bring your forehead to the floor. Arms alongside the body with the palms face down. All right, so the thumbs will be pointing to the outside. We'll take Shalabhasana or locust pose, and we'll do it 3 times. All right. Now, different part of our body connected to the earth, so we have different foundation. Now we'll do 3 rounds, and each round I'll offer just a slightly different variation. Okay. So our foundation for all variations is the hips, the pubic bone, the front of the hips. So press that down into the ground, just like we did feet for mountain pose, and then lift the low belly, right? So we're creating this nice, strong, supported container for our lumbar spine. Now we'll roll the shoulders back and lift the chest slightly to look forward. So the hands are staying grounded, my feet are staying grounded. Good, stay here and breathe. One more breath. And then lower all the way down. Turn to your right cheek so you're looking to your left. And you can turn the palms up and relax the arms, the shoulders. All right. Let's set up for round 2.
Variation 2 starts the same, forehead to the floor. Turn the palms back down, thumbs out. Set your foundation. Press the front of the hips, the pubic bone down, then lift the low belly away from the floor. Roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, look forward. So we're squeezing the back muscles. Now, if you want to add on here, peel the thighs off the mat and lengthen the toes and the legs away from you. So toes and crown of the head reaching opposite directions. Keep breathing. Good, 2 more breaths here. Keep lifting the low belly away from the floor, and then exhale, release all the way down. Turn to look to your right, so you're on your left cheek. You can turn the palms up. Just a couple of cleansing, clearing breaths here. We'll take that one more time with a third variation, lifting everything. All right, forehead to the floor, turn the palms back down. Reset the legs. Sometimes I find that mine gets separated after that a bit. So lengthening into those legs, press the pubic bone down. Lift the low belly, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest, look forward, peel the thighs off the mat if you're adding the legs. You can even lift the arms and reach fingertips back towards your toes or interlace behind the back if that's available to you. Stay here and breathe 3 more breaths. One more breath, lift a little higher and exhale all the way down. Walk your hands forward, stack the hands, rest the forehead. Maybe a little shimmy of the hips side to side. Woo. Let's bring those hands under the shoulders. Press yourself up off of the floor. Not really though, I'm just gonna have you flip over onto your back. So you'll stay down low. We're just flipping over onto the back. Let's take Setu Bandhasana or bridge pose next. So feet to the floor, set them up so it feels like they're about in Tadasana, right? Mountain pose, heels under the knees. They're about hips distance apart. The arms are alongside the body. Now, most people think about bridge pose as just simply lifting the hips. It's actually a back bend of sorts. So let's open the chest first. Now, back bends are nothing more than just opening the front of the body, which is what we're going to do here. Roll your shoulders back, almost like you're shimmying the shoulders underneath you. Then we press in through backs of the arms, back of the head, and then the feet, pressing down to lift the hips up. Good. Now we'll hold 5 breaths. You could keep the arms parallel, right? You could grab the outer edges of your mat, press down to find more lift. You could also interlace hands if that's available. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Let's do that one more time, okay? So reset everything. Arms close to the body, roll the shoulders back, press the backs of the arms down. Press the soles of the feet down. Don't forget to engage your abdominals as well to support the lumbar spine. As you're ready, inhale, press down and lift the hips up. Notice as gravity takes over, right? Our bottom's going to start to drop down a little bit, push down, lift up a little more. And then exhale, lower everything all the way down. Let's hug the 2 knees into the chest. Keep your right knee drawn in, extend the left leg out long. Use the left hand to the outside of the right knee. Just guide it over to the left to a 1 knee twist, taking right arm extended out to the right. Nice twist. Not only a great release for the spine, but probably feeling this a little bit in the outer hip and thigh on the right side. All that great stuff we worked in our practice today. Keep tuning in. I think it's a little easier when it gets quieter, right? The postures are held a little longer. Let's inhale, untwist. Rehug the right knee into the chest and then switch sides. The left one will hug in, the right one extends. Guide the left knee across to the left side of the body. Right, or excuse me, left arm out to the left. Let's get that nice stretch. Nice twist. Keep building lion mind. Tune into the breath, our anchor. Notice sensation and notice the breath. Let's inhale. We'll untwist ourselves and return onto your back. 2 feet to the floor. Pick up the right ankle, cross right ankle over the left knee. Just a little deeper outer hip stretch after all of our standing work. If you want a deeper stretch, feel free to pick up the left leg and interlace hands behind the left thigh. One breath more. If you've lifted the left leg, release it, uncross, cross the other one over. So left over right, picking up the right foot if you like to interlace hands behind the thigh. One more breath. Uncross. Hug both knees into the chest, just finishing with a brief happy baby. Let the knees move wide apart. Hands reach in between the knees to catch the ankles or outer edges of the feet, maybe even taking soles of the feet up. Just a couple of breaths, extra grounding. And then we'll release this. Bring the feet down. Make your way to your Shavasana today. Just extending those legs out. Let the feet flop open. Palms up by your sides. Softening and closing the eyes. Can you go through that same little check-in that we did at the beginning of class in our opening meditation? Do that again now. Just tune into the body, whether it's physical sensation, temperature, touch, maybe something deeper in the body, right? All the different things, hunger, excitement, exhaustion, relief. And then even in all this stillness, notice the movement of the breath. I just keep tuning into the breath. Keep watching for all those distractions, those bones. Those bones that are pulling your attention away. Keep coming back to the breath. Keep building lion mind. Let's take a fuller, deeper inhalation now. To bring ourselves back to our usual state of awareness. Maybe start to wiggle fingers and toes. Perhaps a sweet feeling stretch. Bending the knees, rolling to one side or the other. And press yourself all the way up. Good. Sitting up tall. Hands can rest on the thighs or in the lap again. And then we'll join the hands in Anjali Mudra, palm against palm in front of the heart. As you bow chin to your chest in a gesture of gratitude. Always closing with just a moment of gratitude to yourself for taking this time for you today. And thank you for sharing your yoga practice with me. Namaste.